talking about changing in play styles, and the WNBA is now undergoing some of that with the recent head coaching hires for the Dream and the Sparks. Carl Smesco for the Dream, Lynn Roberts for the Sparks. We got a taste of the influx in 3-point shooting in terms of the Phoenix Mercury with Nate Tibbetts coming from the NBA side. Now we're seeing 2 college coaches that really emphasize 3-point shooting, the threes and layups from the college side now coming in. This is weird, and this is going to be a kind of a new path for the WNBA to take on. And these are teams that I wouldn't consider really have shooters like that in the Dream and the Sparks. Not right now, at least. Andrew, I know that you have been – this has been a very interesting topic for you, and whether it be like the calendar of the hiring, the style of the hiring, like all across the board. Just in general for you, like you can kind of take it however you want to, but these 2 hires are super interesting for the future and the direction of coaching hires in the W.
I think it's interesting because it feels more analytically driven. Like we have entered Maury ball a little bit within the WNBA, and I'm not sure how I feel about that because I feel like a really cool hallmark of this league has been the fact that we still have a mid-range in the WNBA, and it is not necessarily just threes and layups. Look, the men's game is a vertical game, right? Like it is a game that is predicated on athleticism, up and down and dunks. I worry that if the lesson taken from WNBA front offices is we need to be more Maury ball-ish, and Caitlin's range brings the fans. I'm a little worried about what that turns into because there's not a Caitlin Clark everywhere.
Yeah, you don't got that everywhere. Yeah.
But second of all, layups are not dunks. You know what I mean? Like there's a watchability perspective for threes and dunks in the men's game, and even then it stretches because look, realistically, man, there's a watchability problem in the men's game with the product too. So yes, you're trading wins for entertainment potentially. If you take these 2 hirings and the Tibbetts hire and game it out as a much bigger analytics movement within the WNBA right now. My concern more than anything, though, is if the W has gotten to a point where it is financially a positive to go to the league over your high-level mid-major or, above average power 4 job, are we risking a brain drain at the college level? Because as it stands right now, there's a lot of institutional knowledge in the college game. And there have been some legendary coaches that have retired because the game is just getting to a point where they're just not with it anymore, whether it's portal, NIL, and that's their choice. Other coaches have stepped up, Gino and Don, and those folks have managed to still find success in this new era. But if you aggressively expand the league, and we go to 13, 14, 15, 16 in quick order, you need head coaches and assistant coaches to fill those gaps. And where is the place you are likely to go to find them, especially in the absence of a G League for the women? You're probably going to go to the college ranks unless you try and jump over and take like one of the really elite EuroLeague coaches, like someone from a Fenerbahce or a Valencia. And so to me, what I worry about is if there's a land rush, so to speak, on the coaches that are of mid-major or above average power 4, do you have enough people to backfill those positions? And are you sacrificing development in the college ranks to be able to fill these spots now? That's the only alarm bell that goes off in my head. I will say this for Smesco and Roberts, though. They cater to their personnel. Lynn Roberts has never had a player like Rickea Jackson, dog. Like Jenna Johnson is not Rickea Jackson. No shade to Jenna, but like she's not
I hear you, but like that was literally what was going through my head. Like they played like that because they had to. Like Utah, we gotta get you on the, Utah is not a blue blood program where we're just going to get hyper athletic players, the most skilled, the most this. We're going to get players that can develop into these type of things. So they had to make a game plan that allowed them to develop into specialists, because if you come from our program, most likely you're not going to be National Player of the Year. You might be in contention. You might grow into contention playing with us, but like we don't get those type of people yet. So I think that there was a large part of that analytic angle was like, where can we give what we have an edge? And they did it very, very well. You know, because Smethko, you know, he had young Kirsten Bell back, you know, when she was getting buckets. Yeah.
That was LeBron at FGCU.
You know, but again, not even a Power 5 school. So it's like you have to do little things that, I don't want to say game the system, but like give yourself that edge against the people that are getting X, Y, and Z. But like now they're in the big leagues. Everybody was that girl at their college. So you have more at your disposal. So I don't think the analytics are going to come into play as much as the NBA. The NBA is cooked. Like it's a stepped on product. I'm so sorry to say it, but it's not.
I'm trying to put the genie back in the bottle, because like we're talking FIBA rules and like bringing back certain things. Like you're trying to put it back, but the nerds won. I just don't want the nerds to win in the W. Do I think we could use more nerds in the W? Yes, because it, like, especially from a coaching perspective, the league has been cliquey among its top end for a long time. New blood is needed in this league. But I just don't want the nerds to. The nerds are like the Grim Reaper meme, man. They've already came for Major League Baseball. They came for the men's NBA. They're coming for the NFL right now. And they might be knocking on the door at the W if we're not careful here. That's all I'm saying.
I think the biggest thing is you have to understand what the numbers are for, because that's the issue I had with the NBA. Like, I'm a Russell Westbrook fan. Some of that stuff I simply do not care about. I saw him hit that game winner against the Denver Nuggets, who he now plays for, to eliminate them from the postseason and to keep his triple-double. That was the most incredible thing I've ever seen. One of the most incredible things. And there's no, like, advanced metric to tell me that he was hooping. Like, there's nothing that you can say to add to that story with a number. You had to just be there and you had to just see it. So I think as long as you come into the W understanding that these numbers are to enhance the story, these numbers are to add some detail and like flesh out the story. These numbers are not the story. Are they hooping or not? That's it. Yeah, let's tell how they were hooping. Let's tell how they were not hooping. But don't sit there and tell me like Vorp is no, I don't care. I don't care. I'm sorry. No, I'm not watching basketball with a calculator. Like, get your rulers and your protractors. Get away from me and stop messing up the game I love. Understand your role, nerds.
Yeah.
That was a wild Mark Jackson way to end this.
Yeah, that was fantastic. And I know we had kind of talked about this like in our chat a little bit. I guess we still have head coaching openings remaining. I think there's 3 left in the W right now. We have expansion teams on the way that will certainly, like to have, coaches in place as early as possible, I would presume. Do we think that more college coaches are on deck in this cycle? I think certainly this sets a standard going forward for future cycles, but I guess more so for this cycle in particular. Are there any coaches, or do we think that more college coaches are going to be in the mix? Like, because this is a new thing, like especially going into the season and leaving in this way, like after the season has already begun. And like I said, I think for future cycles, this might set a new precedent. I don't know about this one, but I'm interested if there's any names that pop into y'all's minds that might be a name to make a jump like this.
No, I think they're going to start looking for podcasters. Like, it works here, I think we're going to start seeing a new shift in where we get the talent from. Like, you can break it down on the podcast.
Can do it.
Hey.
I got a whiteboard.
Hey. Yeah. So we're going to keep scouring YouTube for the next big thing.
Mark Campbell, I think, is the name I would look at. Heavy PNR guard, kind of guard whisperer, really good with big personalities. Like he's not a yeller, like in a mean way. He's not a break you down type of dude. He's very laid back and actually kind of feels like a pro-ish kind of coach in that way. But very driven, very intense dude. If he were to bring Xavi Lopez with him, who's kind of been with him for every stop since Oregon, that would be a really good duo. The guy knows how to build programs. He already operates extensively in the portal. So like, I don't really know what would be all that different from kind of the GMing component. And also he just, I don't know, he just kind of has that vibe to him. He has the vibe of like a new age WNBA coach. And I would be curious to see if a W team came for him, if that would be something he is interested in. Because I will say this for Mark. Careerist is a word with a negative connotation, but he is always looking to level up. But he's also looking to level up within the proper fit. Like he had offers leaving Oregon and did not take them because he did not think the fit was right. He went to Sacramento State. He liked the fit there. And then he ended up going out to TCU because he felt that he could win at TCU with the infrastructure, the arena, the amenities, the recruiting region that he was in. To be completely honest, like you've seen how he's completely reinvigorated Haley Van List's career. If I'm Kurt Miller, I'm kicking the tires. Why not? You have Paige Beckers coming in that will likely go top. You have Tierra McCowan, who is very much like the PNR centers that he likes to employ, whether that's a Ruthie Hebert or a Sedona Prince, Izzy Notabu at Sacramento State. Like T-Mac could operate in that system, as could Kalani Brown, too, for that matter. And then you get Paige in a heavy PNR system, and she's already an extremely dynamic passer who's already a better shooter, I would argue, coming out of the pick and pop than Sabrina was. And that's where Sabrina made a lot of her hay in college. I don't know. If I'm Kurt, I'm kicking the tires. Now, I've also heard like Rick Gallagher also said like look to Europe. I don't know if any of the Euro coaches, like, I don't know if the style works. Euro coaches are really, really intense, and I don't know if that manages or meshes well with us Americans. I don't see it.
No, they can't handle Cheryl Reeve right now.
Maybe Vic Lapina, but like Vic crashed out with Canada in the Olympics. So like, how much does the Fenerbahce tenure matter when Canada was probably supposed to be a top 4 team in the Olympics and didn't even make it out of the group stage, So Mark Campbell, Mark's my pick.
I don't know, man. I would like to see more women.
That's fair.
So that's why I think like Christy Sides would be perfect for Dallas, because you have someone who understands systems with no way to pick and roll. With the pick and roll. You mentioned the pick and roll. He understands managing.
Here I was thinking you were about to be on your Muffet McGraw. We women coaches, and you put
I am. Christy Sides was done dirty. What do you mean? Like, she didn't get a fair shake. Like, she knows how to manage a rookie guard and an explosive shooter who is used to, it being her team and being able to call the shots, take the shots, miss the shots, like do whatever, maybe play defense. She understands. She understands a number of things. She was learning and taking that information. Mark Campbell makes sense. However, I would like to see more women get a chance.
That is incredible.
This is drip chain erasure.
Fact.
Absolute drip chain Patricia Trammell erasure. LT, we see you.
LT, we should still be there.
Yeah, no, but like Andrew, to your point, I don't think the Europe thing would work because everybody's always miserable when they go overseas. So you're not gonna, bring part of that over here. And then especially like Cheryl Reeve rubs people the wrong way, so it's kind of like, I don't know, man.
Like Valerie Garnier from France. I don't think she's coming over here to be cool.
No.
Beating that Australian across the way. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, like that works if you're Cheryl or Becky. I don't know if that works if you don't already have the cultural cachet built up to do so. You know what I mean?
That's fair.
So,
well, folks, I think that's a great way to end this with Christy Sides to the Dallas Wings. I think that is.
Oh, can I end on one comment?
Yes, please.
Pay attention to Georgia Tech, folks.
Beat
Oregon tonight, Monday night when we're recording this. Georgia Tech has beaten Georgia, Oregon, South Dakota State, takes on Sam Purcell's Mississippi State here next. If they win that, we might have to talk about Nell Fortner's team as a top 25 unit.
Okay.
Can I get a nail? Yeah. Can I get a nail? Yeah.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Leaving with some eye emojis on the team. I love leaving with some eye emojis. That is in true W Twitter fashion. We put some eye emojis on it and we keep it pushing.
Ron, you got a column coming this week too, right?
I do, because you guys are pissing me off. Not like y'all up here.
Hey, whoa. Damn.
Speaking of men and why
and why we need less of them in this space.
No, but like I'm just saying some stuff. Like the things we're talking about right now, people can't have a nuanced discussion about some things, and I just need to remind everybody, like, ethical hating. Otherwise, you're just out here looking goofy for the sake of, and we can see your agenda and we understand why you're doing it, but it still looks stupid. Part of ethical is being well informed and like understanding what's going on, so you don't look stupid. Like y'all got to form some better arguments, and then like not get too muddled up in the agenda talk. You know, because this, like we said at the beginning of this, like we don't know who's going to win the title this year. Like it is not a foregone conclusion coming into this season. Like who the favorite is today might not be the favorite next week or next month or at conference play. Like just relax a little and let some stuff play out.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait. I love a good hating article from Shawnee.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of my favorite columns. But yes, to your point, there are so many games on deck, especially here in like the next month or so in the lead up to conference play. There's some very, very solid non-conference matchups that we're going to learn a lot about. Some of the teams that we talked about today, some of the teams that we didn't touch on. Like the conclusions we made today might not be the conclusions we make tomorrow, and that is what is making this season so incredibly fun. So I'm excited.
Hate might be twice as much as tomorrow's hate, or it could be better.
Hello. You never know. The hate shifts by the day, and that's why you have to stay tapped in here to know Cap Space, so to keep you updated on the hate. And where you need to be. Where you need to be. We keep the scales for you. But make sure you guys stay tapped in here to know Cap Space. Make sure if you're on the podcast listening, make sure you're favoriting, rating, leave a comment. All those things on the podcast platforms. If you're on YouTube watching, like, subscribe, comment, share. And of course, as always, Substack is the home. No Cap Space, WBB.com is the home to all of our content. The columns, I'm looking forward to Shawnee's one. You should be too. I think Shard has some rankings coming out here soon that I'm very excited to see what he has to say. And we gave our thoughts. I'm ready to hear producer Shardy's. So much content on deck. So many great games on deck. We got you covered all the way through here for No Cap Space. Tyler, Andrew, Shawnee. We'll see you next time.